that better? Awesome. Again, see, with the technical difficulties, this is what Corona is all about here. Anyway, so again, thank you for joining. And we are going to be casing the annual catalog with the This Birthday Piggy stamp bundle. Couple of admin notes. Perfect. Glad you can hear me. If you're going to shop with me this month, this is our hostess code for the month of September. It is 77JWUUSF. And if you shop with me, I am Caron Bailey. I am your independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. I have been stamping for over 7 years now, and I really, really enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy watching what I'm doing. I am getting better at doing these videos, I hope. And so without further ado, I think we're going to dig in because watercoloring takes a little bit of time. And I want to make sure that we get it all done. Okay, so I am going to grab a piece of watercolor paper and we're going to go get started. And then the first image, we're going to use the birthday piggy, the one with the little pigs. And so that's this one right here. And because we're going to watercolor, I'm going to use Memento ink. And I'm just going to stamp this guy, ink this guy up. You guys definitely ask me any questions if you have any. I would definitely love appreciate the company. And I'm not going to tell you the measurements of this piece because this is going to be trimmed down. And so I'm going to stamp and color until I get what I need. And then I'll trim it down and then you'll see exactly what the measurements are at this time. And as always, you can find the information on my blog, as I will put the information there for you. All right, so I am looking for my watercolor pen right here. And you guys, the star of our show are the Stampin' Up watercolor pencils. There's pack 1 and pack 2, and I have both packs in here. Not all of the colors are Stampin' Up colors are in watercolor pencils, so we're definitely going to see what we get done here. If you look at the catalog and you're joining me, obviously I think our pig is going to be pig, and there's several ways to watercolor. Let me just tell you that, okay? One of the ways is to wet your paper, and I'm going to wet it anyway, just a little bit. Just wet the cardstock, and I am using, wait a minute. I am using watercolor paper so that it doesn't pull as much. And so you can wet the paper and then go in with the color, or the other way that you can do it is you can lay down a base of color and then add your watercolor to it. So I'm going to do it both ways. On this side, I'm just going to put some color here. And then with the watercolor, you're just going to blend it out with the water, okay? Like so. I know, Michelle, I'm watercoloring, right? And I said watercoloring was definitely not my thing. I know. And then one of the other ways is to go with your pen, your watercolor pen brush to your medium, and then add color that way. So there's two ways that you can use watercolor in. I know, right? You're shocked. I think Memento was supposed to be, aren't you supposed to use Memento ink for watercoloring? This is bleeding. I might have to redo this. So those are the two ways. I don't like this at all. I am going to, well, thank you very much, Miss Michelle. She tells me now. I'm going to trim off another piece. And we are just going to redo this because I am not happy with that. Yes, our stays on. I'm just gonna make this about a 3. I don't even need that. 2 3/4 piece of watercolor paper. Now I gotta go find my stays on ink. Hold on, let me find it. Shouldn't be too far away. And it's not. I don't know why I thought Memento was for, well, it says that, that's why. Anyway. Oh, no. Oh, what are you saying, Michelle? You used to watercolor sometimes. It will work if you, yeah. All right, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna start over a little bit. Now that we've got our stays on ink. And I'm going to heat set it just because that's what I want to do. And while I'm doing that, I think I'm going to, will this fit on there? Oh, we're gonna make it work. I'm gonna go stamp the other one so that way it can have a little bit of time to get into the paper. Here we go. Because we're gonna watercolor both, okay? Perfect. How was your week, Michelle? All righty. Did you go into work or were you out the entire week? I had a good week. One of my coworkers, you survived. Yes, you did. I don't think I've ever had a stomach bug like that. So I commiserate with you. What is it? I can empathize, but I can't sympathize, or I can sympathize, but I can't empathize, which is the way that it goes, right? Not sure. All right, so I'm gonna add some color and then I'm just gonna go in with the watercolor brush and then I'm gonna color and blend like that. Just to soften the color just a little bit. The other thing that you can do is if you had regular colored pencils, you can also use Gamsol. I loved coloring with Gamsol and just regular colored pencils. I'm excited about tomorrow. Our weekend starts, which means a whole bunch of stamping and crafting for me. Last week, I was supposed to meet with the retirement community. And apparently I got my time wrong because I showed up and let's just say nobody was waiting for me. They all went dance. I think they had dancing that night. Dancing last week was on their calendar. So that's what everybody was out doing, day tripping. And so I wasn't able to do my class with them last week, but it's back on the calendar for this week. So my friends who I normally stamp with on Sunday, they're like, wait a minute, does that mean we're not gonna stamp? Well, you guys might. I know, right? So all I'm doing right now is I'm laying down the colors that I think that I want to use, where I'm going to use them. And that way, then it's easier for me to just go ahead and just blend them out. I'm still trying to figure out a color for that. I'm gonna go with a little bit of a red here. And the trick with watercoloring, this is Cherry Cobbler. The trick with watercoloring is if you have like tight spaces like this or anything like that, make sure if you're changing colors that your colors are a little bit away from each other. That way you have a little bit more control. This is really wet. Have a little bit more control of how you're blending your color out. And I think what I should have done with this one, this is probably where a tip-to-tip application would probably have worked better. Than to just lay the color down, because what you're coloring in is really small, so a tip-to-tip application probably would have worked better. Okay, and I think we went in with our pumpkin pie. How appropriate, pumpkin pie. We're getting into that pumpkin pie season, or pumpkin spice. I love that stuff. I love it so much that my coffee in the morning, I always have cinnamon and nutmeg in my coffee in the morning. My coffee, I put, what do I put in my coffee? I put turmeric. I have some ginger, good for the stomach. I put some almond essence. I put coconut oil. And all of this is before I add my creamer, right, y'all? Yes, I love that stuff in my coffee. It's just awesome. All right, I think I went here. I use this to finish out. So I want a little bit more contrast in my soil or the ground. So I'm going in with a little bit of Cajun Craze in addition to just fill some of the spots and add just a little bit of depth into the coloring. And again, I'm not letting it dry in between, which is probably a bad thing. Not probably, it is a bad thing, because you should let it dry. But if I would do that, then I would be here all night, and I know y'all don't want to sit here and watch me do this all night. Okay. So we're gonna let this dry just a little bit. Did I do bad on watercoloring? I mean, I don't normally do watercoloring, but I think it did okay. I think it turned out okay. So that's the first one. I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry for a little bit while I go ahead and add some color to the other pig. All right. And I'm gonna make him a different shade of pink. Thank you. While I'm coloring here, let me tell you guys about the we're almost at the end of the month, and I believe you guys have been telling you about the perfect pairing. That promotion ends at the end of the month, This is one of the stamp sets that you can get the dies for. If you are looking the annual catalog, the dies cannot be found in the annual catalog. It is only available for the September promotion. I think there was what, 5? We worked with the which one did we work with? There was I'm drawing a blank now. Oh, the waterfall one. There was the Yeti. How did I forget the Yeti? Oh. There was one with the flowers. Which one was that? I can't remember the names. Names are defeating me at this point. Okay. Apple Blossom. That was my favorite, besides the floral one. Okay. And I'm going to go in with, I used cherry cobbler in the other one, so I'm not going to use it here. Let's go with some real red, and we're going to have a real red balloon. Oh, my point. Of course I don't have a whatchamacallit in here. And I think that's the beauty of watercoloring, even though I tend not to watercolor a lot. You kind of get just a little bit of a softer look than regular ink or alcohol markers or regular watercolor markers. It just gives it a little bit of a softer look. My flame is going to be a little bit of a yellow. So let's have yellow flame. And because, again, the space is so small, I'm just going to go in tip to tip and get the ink that way. What color should I make the cake? I'm going to go and make the cake a little bit of a Bermuda beige. So that's where we're going to go with our cake color. Up. Not fast enough. I'm sorry. So next week's case, the Catty, I'm doing the Speedy Recovery set. I need to make a couple of get well cards. So that was very appropriate and very timely. I'm going to go in with some basic gray. And I'm going to put the basic gray on his snout, his little hooves, and the little cake tray. I was way too close together. So see, I should actually wait in between because these are just too close together. The colors are not going to blend very well. All right, so the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in. And I hadn't thought about that, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is a little bit of balmy blue. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some here. I'm going to do a little cast shadow around the pigs. What do I mean by that, right? Just going to shadow them, kind of outline them a little bit. What is that called? It's called something. I don't know what, but it's called something. Or am I making that up? Hey. I could be making it up. I don't know. Just give it a little bit of a wash. Okay, so that's Guy's drying. So we'll put him back so he can dry. And now we can come back and work on this one. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow around this one too. Why not? Let's be consistent, right? I know that's my mantra this week is consistency, consistency, consistency. And this one is going to be a little bit of Bermuda Bay. I don't need to be a little heavy-handed here because I really just want to blend it out really lightly. And again, I'm just casting a little bit of a shadow or a wash around the image. Totally not done in the catalog, but like I said, I'm not casing 100% to that tonight. I just wanted to do a little something different. And we're using the catalog and the guide as an inspiration. Okay. All righty, so now we're done with our coloring, so we can go ahead and put this stuff away and then get to working on the rest of the card. So in the first card, let's see. First card is on a green, and I went with the Parakeet Party, y'all. That's the color that I'm going with. Look at that, isn't that cute? And I think this was, I went into my retired cardstock, my retired DSP pack, and I think this was the Hostess from last catalog, Playful something. I can't remember. I don't want this to be that big. I'm going to trim this guy down just a tad. I'm going to heat set it so it'll dry too. So that's basically what our card is going to be. So I'm going to trim it down just a little bit more. Just a tad. That's good enough. So now you have a piece of cardstock that is going to be 2 inches. Wait, that's not right. Yep, 2 inches by, it's already 4. Let's go 2 inches by 3.5. So that's the piece that we're working with. And I'm just going to adhere this to this, like so. And no, I'm not going to use dimensionals. Not tonight, or at least not right in this part. Not in this part. Line it up. You know, I've been getting into jigsaw puzzles lately. Do you do a lot of do you do jigsaw puzzles, Michelle, at all? I just finished a, I started out with a 300 piece jigsaw puzzle and I loved it. And so the next thing I did is I'm gonna do a 550 piece of a 550 piece set. I already have it picked out and everything. So it's just really to get it done. What did I say? Go to your happy place and stay there all day. That's the one I'm gonna use. This set is so new that I have not mounted the piece on them. So we are just gonna hope that I can stamp straight. But that's why you have additional pieces of cardstock, so that if you don't, you can just try it again. Okay. I just need a piece of basic white. I'm going to stamp my sentiment. I'm just going to go with black. Okay. Go to your happy place. What's your happy place? No space? What'd you say no space for, Michelle? I missed that. So my sentiment strip is going to be 3 inches, no, 2 3/4, 2 7/8, because that's what I did trim it to, by 3/4 of an inch. So it's 3/4 by 2 7/8 is what our sentiment is on. Strip, and I'm gonna take a piece of twine, wrap it around my fingers, like so. Don't need anything too big. Just gonna do a very lazy embellishment here, like so. I'm gonna go in with some what do you call that thing? Glue dots. What side do I want it? Right here. Right there. Add another one right there. These glue dots you can find in the paper pumpkin or any one of our kits. They are great to have. 1, 2, and 3. And then all I'm going to do is put my twine that I just wrapped, like so. And then now I'm going to go in with some dimensionals. And these are just remaining strips from the adhesive sheets that I love to use. And I'm just going to go over this so it's double secure. I hope Kathy's feeling good, better. Right. Y'all, this is the fastest I've put a card together for you guys. And I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna take a little bit of poetic license here. I put that here. What do I have? I prefer that side. That's how I decide what I'm doing, y'all. It's that simple. I keep forgetting that with these, the liquid glue, if you don't cover it, cap it back sometimes, you run the risk of it clogging. Oh, you said no space for the puzzles. Oh, girl. I went on Amazon. Love me some Amazon, y'all. And they have these mats, puzzle mats, I think they call them. And so I bought one. Oh, yes. And, you know, I looked at some of the reviews and some of the things about it, and it's like you're supposed to be able to use them like in apartments. If you have small spaces, you can roll it up and put it away and that kind of stuff. So I got mine, and now I'm happy. All righty. I forgot what I was talking about when you said that, and I was like, wait, what? I don't know. Do you think I need any embellishments on this? Any other embellishment? Any gems on there? I don't know. But of course, you know, I always have to have bling. So ultimately, I'm probably going to end up putting bling on there somewhere. All right, so that's done. So we can get started on our next card. Michelle says, of course. Well, of course. All right, so our card, this next card is pretty much done, y'all. If you look in the catalog, like I said, they use the treat bags, and that's not my forte. I make cards. That's what I do. So I'm turning this project into a card, and I'm modifying it a little bit. Okay. So I am using Daffodil Delight as my card base. I die cut. Where did it go? These. Oh, you know what? I had to use them. I was I had the hippo dies, y'all, and I debated and I debated and I debated about getting them. I don't think they're available anymore, but I just absolutely had to have these dies. Okay, so I said they were not going to go unused, and they're not. So I used the largest on the Starry Sky, and then I used the second largest on the layer piece that I'm going to use here. Did you get the hippo dies, Michelle? All righty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off right off the bat, and I'm going to pop my little hippo up. I'm going to pop the hippo. I just love that you can, with the foam adhesive sheets, that you can do that with the dots as well, the dimensionals, but with the amount of dimensionals that I use, Michelle can tell you that I use a lot of dimensionals. I probably should take stock in the manufacturer of them. That's how much I use. All right, we're just going to line this image up. Here we go. And like I said, we're going to take a little bit of license here. Did I bring any more of that paper in? All right, hold on just a, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to go in with the texture sheet Memories and More card pack and see if there's anything that I like in here that'll work. Oh, I like this. I like this. Maybe not. Let's see what else I got. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, well, these looks like balloons, right? So we can probably work with this. I'm gonna have to trim it down, right? And then, no, change my mind again. Change my mind again. All right, so I'm gonna figure this out because now that I'm, oh, here we go. Oh, I like both sides. Oh, I don't want to waste, I don't want to use that way. What about this one? I think that one might work, right? Put that, and then this will be right here. Something like that. I think that's what I'm going to work with. I'm going to make that work. All right, so we're going to make this. I think I definitely want it to be, let's go with 4. Let's start with 4 inches, right? Wait, is this 4 this way? Yeah, but I don't want it that way. Or do I? No. Okay. So we're going to do a 2. Let's go with 2. Why? Because it's half. I can use the other half for something. And then we are going to make this about, let's go with 4. Let's go with 4 1/4. No, let's go 4 1/2. I'll tell you what I saw. I saw that they had that as a topper, as a tag. So I'm going to use the same concept. And I'm going to make it a tag. And I am using the scalloped tag topper punch. Okay. And so that's going to go like this. And I know they had some ribbon in there. Let's find some ribbon. And we're going to use this one. I just got this one. This was on, I think this one was on the list for, this is the, oh my gosh, what's it called? Glittered organdy ribbon. I believe this was one of the items that's on this week's discounted specials. Right. I don't know. Do I want to do a bow or just, I think I'm just going to do this. Surprised my dogs aren't barking tonight. They must know that Mama is shooting a video or something. I think that's what I'm going to go with. I'm not trimming the ribbon just yet because I want to make sure of where it finally ends up, where I need to trim. And of course, we are going to add dimensionals to that piece. Went very simple tonight. I thought it was more important featuring the watercoloring, which is kind of what we looked at. There we go. And then last is the sentiment. And I'm just going to say, happy birthday. Tell me if I can find it. Okay, how about we say it's your birthday? All right. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. I like that. Let's go in and with our, don't know where that is either. Y'all, the more I try to be organized for y'all, the more unorganized I am. I swear. I probably really honestly should just do this as a complete shot in the dark. You know, no rhyme or reason, because the more I try to be prepared and organized, the less I am. Okay. Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of white heat embossing powder. Yes, white, not clear. I stamped with Versamark, so I need, which is clear as it clear. So I need for that to shine a little bit. Go. There goes the heat tool. Again, you can see when the embossing powder actually starts to melt, and you can tell when it's ready. There we go. Almost done, you guys. What do you think about these cards so far? Very simple. And again, one of the things, even though we case the Catty, you guys, it's just important to show you that you can actually use what's in the catalog to gain a little bit of inspiration. You don't have to be exact in casing if you don't have item X, item Y, or Z. You can always make it your own. And I'm looking for my corner rounder. So I can round my corner. And I'm going to use my detailed trio punch. And before I do that, I'm just going to make sure that that's exactly what I want to do. Sometimes you have to test and make sure that it's going to do what you want it to do, right? Is it going to do the other side? Yeah, it's just a small strip, so I'm making sure that, okay, that cornered, that rounded, not rounded. Oh yeah, that'll kind of do what I want it to do. Let's try it over there. Make sure there's no operator error going on in there. Okay. That's one side. There you go. That'll work. So now we're going to go right in with our actual sentiment because we know that it'll work. And give us a rounded edge on our sentiment. There we go. And I am also going to put dimensionals on this guy because I put dimensionals on everything. Just about. And this card will be finished. Should we kitty corner the sentiment? Something a little off. I think I'm gonna, oh, I'll put it right down there. Right there. Okay, now I can trim this. Now we can trim our ribbon. Go. And there we go. We did 2 simple cards tonight, casing the Catty, and we featured this birthday Piggy bundle. And again, it's only a bundle in the month of September. After the end of the month, you will only be able to get this stamp set. The dies will no longer be available. We featured the watercolor pencils. Thank you, thank you. And there you go. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for staying up and watching and joining me and giving me a little bit of conversation. I really, really appreciate it. Because, you know, I hate talking to myself. All right, you guys, next week, the plan is to work on speedy recovery. But you guys, if you have your catalog and there's a project in the catalog that you want me to case for you, drop it in the comments and let me know. And as long as it's not really a project, because I don't normally do projects, I make cards. Okay. So if there's a project or a card in the catalog that you want me to case for you, drop it in the comments and I will definitely put it on the list and get it on the schedule for you. Until that time, you guys, see you next Thursday. where we case the Speedy Recovery stamp set. Good night and happy stamping.